it's like, I always use the analogy, it's like trying to get somewhere by using your sense of direction, where you might get there, but you might not. And you might go down the wrong road and you'll turn around again and go back again. Whereas if you use Google Maps, you'll get directly there straight away. And I always think your strategy is your Google Map is just getting you to where you want to be. And without that, you're going to waste a lot of time, a lot of money testing different things when you don't necessarily need to.
Welcome to the Week's Weekly podcast for companies and agency owners specializing in medical clinics, cannabis, and dental offices. Have you reached your peak and want more out of life and business? Learn what it takes to be a part of bigger projects with the potential for a more significant payoff through growth and acquisitions. Listen to the latest episode with your host, Ed Weeks Jr.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Week's Weekly. Excited to bring you the first full episode. Had a little intro episode. But this one, I think you're really going to like. Who do I have with me today? Leanne. Leanne, where are you from?
Hi, Ed. I'm from the UK, so not local to you, but we work well together on Zoom. And I'm just outside of London.
Just over the pond, outside of London. I'm outside of New York City. We make a good dynamic duo. So we're coming pretty bold at people today, talking to them about, whoa, stop before you do any more marketing. You need to listen to this podcast. So we better make this damn good. What are we going to talk to people about today that they really need to do first before they dive into doing more marketing or any marketing, really?
Yeah. Before you do any marketing, you need a strategy. And it's so simple, but hardly anyone ever does it. They just throw their money at paid ads and go for it. But actually, before you do anything, make time to invest in a marketing strategy.
Yes. How many times between, what do we have? 20 plus 23, whatever. We have a couple of years of experience between us in the digital marketing and the marketing world. How many times do we hear, oh, your leads just, they're not working, or we're not getting any sales? But then we look and we dive deeper and we see 3 months worth of leads sitting in your HubSpot. So strategy, ultimately very, very important to get things right from the get-go. That's why we say pause.
Yeah.
Pause what you're doing. It's unless you're in e-commerce right now, you could pause, you could take the time to definitely get your strategy in line with what you want to do for your business. How many people miss it? Like, everyone we work with now gets it, but when they started, did they really get it?
No, and this is the thing. When you don't work in marketing, you just think that you just need to set up a Google ad campaign or a Facebook campaign because that's what everyone's doing. But you shouldn't do anything until you know what your game plan is, and that is your marketing strategy. You need to have that nailed before you spend any money, because you will waste money. You might get some leads, but you will get a lot more if you know exactly what you're doing. So it's all about getting the most for your money and making sure that you've got some sort of retention marketing in place as well. So we're not just talking about acquisition, we're talking about retention. And so many people miss that. Like you just said, a client who we won't mention had a lot of leads just sitting in HubSpot. Really good quality leads as well. So yeah, it's just about making sure that you've got everything together to deal with incoming inquiries, and you're not going to lose any opportunities.
Yeah, so I think it's important to understand that the strategy often brings out processes that might be missed inside of a business, sales processes, follow-up processes. Even, if we're talking about in the medical world, a lot of times leads are coming in. If we're doing a call ad, leads can be coming in on the same line where people are trying to get people booked for appointments, or they're trying to run the office and also talk to people about potential new clients and how confusing it can get. Sometimes it comes crystal clear. Oh, wait a minute. We should have a separate line that we know is definitely dedicated to leads coming in, and then we know how to handle them. The person can be prepared. There may be nerves. There may be a lot of things that come into play, but so what? They're prepared when they pick up the phone of who's calling on that line, right? I mean, little things can make a huge difference.
Yeah, well, that's why we kind of start with the basics. So when you're doing a marketing strategy, you look at what most people know is the 4 Ps, but we say it's the 7 Ps now. It's evolved over the years, but one of those is your process. So what process have you got in place to deal with your sales if you're e-commerce, or leads if you're a service business, and making sure that your processes are watertight. So that's just one of your marketing mix. You need to also look at your pricing. So basically having this strategy is it's a really clear understanding of what you're going to do as a business to grow, and where you need to invest your time and efforts in marketing, and what channels you're going to utilize. Once you've got that in place, then you know what direction you're going to go in. Without that, it's like, I always use the analogy, it's like trying to get somewhere by using your sense of direction, where you might get there but you might not, and you might go down the wrong road and you'll turn around again and go back again. Whereas if you use Google Maps, you'll get directly there straight away. And I always think your strategy is your Google Map is just getting you to where you want to be. And without that, you're going to waste a lot of time, a lot of money testing different things when you don't necessarily need to.
I love that analogy. As someone who often never asks for directions, I'm going to drive around aimlessly, spend hours getting somewhere that I could have gotten in 30 minutes if I would have just used the maps, right? I mean, this is going back to this. Now it's easy. We use Waze or maps, but it's such a great analogy. The other piece to that is, in the marketplace, the probability or the chances that your competitors have taken the time to do a strategy is probably nil. So you can really separate yourself from competition pretty quick, right?
Oh, definitely. And we always look, when we do strategies as well, especially for a business that really they're struggling a little bit. You can kind of look at some low hanging fruit as well. When you're doing competitor analysis work, you can see keywords that your competitor might not be bidding for, so you can go for those keywords. So it's also looking at opportunities and little gaps where you can kind of excel yourself a little bit faster.
Yeah, drive that, yes, paid side, drive that SEO, get some really quick results from some low hanging fruit, like so many benefits. The other piece that I think in doing few of these sessions with you is just how different people, stakeholders inside of a business can view who they're actually targeting, right? How different that can be, and the eye-opening moments of getting to that right persona. How many times have we seen that?
Oh, all the time, yeah. You get your CEOs, your presidents, or your VPs, the people at the top can get a little bit detached from who their customers are, because they tend to be so fixated on the growth of the business that they come away from kind of the day-to-day running of the business. And that can be quite dangerous, because what they think is going to work for the business might not. So when we do the strategy workshops, we get as many people that have had direct communication with the customer involved when we're doing the customer avatars, because your call handlers, your sales team, they're the ones that are talking to customers every single day. So they really need to have an input in your tone of voice, in where these people are, what their interests are, what their the demographics, psychographics. We need to kind of really, the more we can understand about the customers, the better. Then everything you do is tailored towards that customer. When we're doing content, we have the avatars in front of us on the screen, and we're looking at who we're talking to make sure that that piece of content is tailored to that person. So yeah, going back to what you originally said, Ed, it's really important that anyone that deals with customers is on the strategy workshop or has some input into the customer avatars to work out who we're actually talking to as a business. Because we had it before where a company that do dentistry equipment, and they sell like drills and handpieces, their market was dentists, and that was their audience. It was a dentist. But actually, upon talking to the team, the people that go onto the website and actually buy the products are the receptionists, the office staff at the dental office. They're not the dentists. So you talk to them a little bit differently. So it's all about understanding who's actually going to be buying your product, who's going to be buying your service. Dentists might do the research, but are they actually going to be making the purchase?
Yeah, I mean, think of the money that you would spend to get to dentists, and ultimately they're not the ones who you should be talking to, right? Because right, the drive is, hey, go buy that for me, right? To the person who's handling that, whether it's the front office administrator, office manager, someone else, and that's what all your marketing should be geared towards. And how different that looks. That's so. That's such a. I mean, here's the key, right? We're headed into a new year, 2023. I know we're not supposed to date our stuff, but hey, this is where we are. We're at the end of 22, going into 2023. We have this. Some people say we're in a recession. I know you're in the UK. You definitely feel a recession. I mean, prices are insane. So how important it is to make sure you have these basics, like the fundamental. I'm a sports guy, right? So the fundamentals of everything you do was what sets you up for success. And I don't know why in business, like the marketing strategy, who you're talking to, the processes of handling everything, it's often forgotten. These fundamentals are key. And that's why we're saying, hey, stop, pause, definitely take the time to go into a strategy session, get the right people, commit the time, because it's only as good as the time that you're going to put into it as the owner of the business and the stakeholders of the business, right? I mean, that's the key.
Yeah, it takes time as well. So that's why a lot of people bypass the strategy, because they're busy, they're running companies and they bypass it. But they don't realize how damaging that is, because they lose lots of money, waste lots of time on different marketing activities. We hear it all the time, don't we, Ed? They're like, oh, Facebook ads didn't work for us. No, why didn't it work for you? Well, we ran some ads for this product and we didn't get many sales. And then you look and their landing page is terrible. The tone they're using isn't relevant to their audience. There isn't any strategy behind it. So it puts people off marketing. They make their decisions based on their ad hoc marketing activities, but it shouldn't be like that at all. All forms of marketing work. It's just finding the right ones for your business.
Oh, that's brilliant. And you know what? That's a perfect segue to say, that's it. This is a perfect episode. Like, pause what you're doing. Take the time to do the strategy. You can do it with us. If you're doing it with somebody else, just take the time to do it. And then the implementation will be the part of watching your business grow, instead of this doesn't work, or it just sets you up for success. So heed our advice, please. Take it. Understand it's so important. Take the time to do it. Look, you can Google certain pieces to figure some of it out, or you can reach out to us, whatever it is. Hopefully this got you thinking, engines turning in your head. Leanne, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. You know you're going to be a steady guest on my podcast. So everyone get used to seeing her face. She's mad at me for doing video, but too bad. And that's it. That's it. Thank you, Leanne. We'll see you soon.
See you soon. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Weeks Weekly Podcast with Ed Weeks Jr. If you like our show and want to know more, check out edweeksjr.com and please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts.